Hi, it's Kim from Expressions of the Universe with your weekly wisdom for January 10th through the 16th. We have a new moon. Uranus is going direct, and I have cards for each sign for the new moon. And this will cover January 10th through the 16th and a little bit beyond. So let's get started. The card that I have for the entire week, because of the new moon, it's Mama Kila. And I told you in last week's video that I would be exploring the power goddesses, one goddess a week. I'm so tired, um, really feeling the collective energy and all of the chaos that's going on, plus the readings that I've been doing. And I'm just wiped out. So I'm going to be taking quite a break this week, at least. Um, and I thought that I did. This is my personal card for at least the week. It's the Four of Swords. And I'm taking a respite. I'm taking a rest. I really must. And I recommend that y'all do that too. In my blog, I talk about kind of disconnecting. I really need silence. I just need to disconnect from everything because it's just been, we're all on overload and there's so much information coming in to me that it's really just discombobulating for myself. But Mama Kila, she's the Inca goddess, and in some other um, Indian tribe, like shamanism. I can't talk. She is like in shamanism, she's what I call the moon, Mama Kila. So, what does she talk about? She talks about the seasons of life, the cycles of life, knowing what cycle you are in, and kind of going with that flow of the cycle you're in. And when things are not really going well, then maybe you're going against the cycle that you are in. So, like in the northern hemisphere, we're in a winter cycle right now. And you can drill that down even further to each month as Mama Kila shows herself full and new 13 times during the course of a lunar year, or even a solar year, I should say. Um, and then in the southern hemisphere, they are in the summer season, the summer cycle of their lives. So things are completely different, and there's a different energy, there's a different flow. Um, Also, too, depending on where you live and what's going on in your life and how we're all affected by outward conditions. Woo! My art cart, something just fell off my art cart. Um, Sorry about that. But, we have to recognize the cycle that we're in and then kind of adhere to that and go with it. The cycle that I'm in says it's time to disconnect, get silent, and really hunker down and pay attention to the things that are important. And any outward chatter, chaos, just tune it out. Um, so that's what I'm going to do. I will post this with the meaning of this card tomorrow on Monday, January 11th, but that's really going to be kind of it. I need the respite. Anyway, let's look at what has happened over the last week. I'm not getting into detail about it. No matter where you live in the world, you know what happened in the United States, and I'm getting conflicting information about it. And that's why it's so overwhelming to me because I'm getting information from both sides of what is true. And it has me so turned around because it's like, well, what is true? And then I ask my pendulum, and the pendulum answers me, and it wasn't what I expected. Um, I don't want to get political or go into details or anything, but it's like, I don't know. There's just so much craziness going on in the world, and I don't even know what is true anymore. So I kind of have to follow my guides, and it's kind of mind blowing. I think the entire world is in for a big shock. My blog this week says, Expect the unexpected. That is my theme for this entire year. We had three personal planets, Mars, Mercury, Venus, shift into other signs. The chaos that happened on January 6th, that was Mars in his anaretic degree. The anaretic degree is the final degree of any sign, and it brings all of the energy from 0 degree all the way up to 30 degree, or that whole entire package for that whole period into one big ball. Um, and the shadow side of a planet can really come out at that anaretic degree. Mars is the planet of war, and it was shifting into Taurus from Aries, where he spent almost the last 7 months when he typically only spends 6 weeks in a sign, give or take. He's been like held up there. So we had absolute chaos here in the United States. And it's interesting because when he moved into Taurus, that's when everything started to get under control. But then he was conjuncting Black Moon Lilith, our fears, and Uranus, the crazy wild card. Um, mm, mm, mm. So Mercury moved into Aquarius, where he will stay through February, go retrograde at the end of this month. It's in my blog. And then Venus moved into Capricorn at the same time, pretty much like same within a few hours. Um, Uranus will go direct on January 14th. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that means that all planets right now, as of this coming week, will all be direct, at least until Mercury goes retrograde at the end of the month. And we have chaos coming because of that. Um, Without getting into all the nitty gritty detail, I just want to let you know, expect the unexpected. My guides told me today it's going to take an event similar to 9/11, something like that big and catastrophic. And I don't mean to be just talking about the United States, but the United States, the things that happen here affect the entire globe, energetically, economically. So, yeah, and I'm picking up that there's stuff that's going on in the UK, especially with the lockdown. But um, I lost my train of thought. Lost my train of thought. Completely just out of my head. Like that's I just don't even feel like I feel so disconnected. Um, Forget what I was going to say. Oh shit. Like that's crazy. Like it's completely gone. I think because I have so much information coming in. Oh, my guides. My guides were saying about, we need something big and catastrophic to either bring this country together or even the whole entire world. Bigger, more bigger and catastrophic than a pandemic, because obviously we see that hasn't worked. Um, and it's like, could it be aliens? Could it be like aliens revealing themselves? I know that a Harvard University professor did an article the other day about this massive object that came flying through the sky. I believe it was 196 feet long. And he feels as though it's from some intelligent alien world, and possibly there's a code in it or something. I know he's not being backed by scientists, um, for the various reasons of upsetting the world with more chaos, but it's going to be something big. And when I say expect the unexpected, we can't even think, like, we could think of all these different things that could be happening in the world, but like we'll still be shocked when it actually happens. And then I also heard when you expect the unexpected, then it's not unexpectedly unexpected or something like that. I think you understand what I mean. And so I don't know, but it's going to, that's what this year is going to be like. I likened the first week to just an appetizer to a 52 course meal. Um, the planetary energy on January 12th, 13th with the new moon. So the new moon in Capricorn will be on in my time zone. It will be on January 13th at midnight exact. So if you are west of East Coast, United States, it'll be on January 12th. If you're east, like over in Europe, UK, it will be on January 13th. Almost every single planetary body, and even the nodes are squaring something in the sky. So every planet is challenging every single planet. The energy is explosive, and then Uranus is getting ready to go direct. Uranus definitely in Taurus um, rules earthquakes, volcanoes, tsunamis, like catastrophic earth related incidents. Or it could just be like some kind of electric shock in a sense. So, like, that's what I'm picking up. News that comes out. I keep hearing that news is going to be revealed that we will all be shocked about. That's part of expect the unexpected. Um, if not this week, in the coming weeks. And I want to point out we're not out of the woods by the end of the month. January 20th, which is a really important date here in the United States because it is supposed to be a presidential inauguration. However, I am really worried about that because of those aspects. The moon will be void of course. Aries, the moon will be in Aries at the anaretic degree. So that's volatile. And anything that is void of course, when there's a moon void of course and you start something new, it doesn't stick. So that's either telling me that, like the inauguration isn't happening, or the inauguration gets cut short, or if Joe Biden gets inaugurated, his presidency will not last long. I did have a flash of, and I spoke about this a couple months ago, assassination, and I didn't know if it was the current president, the coming president. I felt like a shock to the heart, so it could be heart attack. I did feel like a gunshot going off. I felt like there was suicide possible that we could be hearing about. That would be shocking news. And then I had a vision of Kamala Harris pushing an Acme, which is a supermarket chain here, shopping cart into the White House, like on that upper level, which was really weird. But I want to get it out there. I want to post it here so that if any of this happens and comes true, I doubt she's pushing an Acme shopping cart. But if this does happen, then we know. The president elect was answering questions the other night about the events that happened at the United States Capitol building on January 6th, and was asked about the security at the upcoming inauguration. And his answer, he says, oh, well, it's handled by a different sector of government, and I feel confident that I'll be safe. And I got a vision of, no, you're not. And I think he was just saying it because like I felt like I saw all over his face how frightened he was, because it's like he knows he could possibly be assassinated. So, and I hate bringing being the harbinger of that kind of news, but that's what I'm getting. That's how volatile this is. So on January 20th, the moon is void, of course. And the inauguration begins typically, it's supposed to begin at 12 o'clock. They usually start at around 11:30, 11:40, and it won't move into Taurus until 2 o'clock. The inauguration should typically be done by then. However, the moon is squaring Pluto, so there's power struggle there. So, um, Mars is conjunct Uranus. So they're Mars, the planet of war, next to conjuncting, right next to the planet of unexpected, that wild card. The moon is squaring the sun, but that's later in the day. Moon squaring Saturn. Um, Power struggle between old regime and new regime. And so, but the part that really bothers me, worries me, is the void of course moon. Moon in the anaretic degree, last final degree of 29 Aries, squaring Pluto in Capricorn. Our governments, our foundations. Pluto is, death, endings, birth, transformation, rebirth. So, I mean, if I think positively, optimistically, okay, the transformation, the transition of one administration to another. But I just, I don't know. And that's kind of really why I want to disconnect. I need to disconnect from all of this. It's pretty crazy. And then we have more crazy energy coming in on the full moon in Leo on January 28th, but I'll get to that in the next video. Let's do your cards. Let me make some rooms. Making the room. I'm going to just, whoa. Yeah, I've got all my art supplies piled up here because I like doing art at this table. And yeah, everything's falling. And yeah, maybe that's a sign. Everything's falling. And although I think the message was for somebody I read yesterday, when I keep getting the message that moving water doesn't freeze, so we don't get stuck. You can keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. Um, Although I need the rest. And I woke up from a nap today with the Jefferson Starship song White Rabbit, just about like how crazy the logic is, in that Alice in Wonderland. Um, and that's what I feel like I'm in. But I also think that it was a message from my friend's mom, Alice. Go ask Alice. So I think I'll tap into her and ask her, what is the truth, Alice? I hope you're watching, my friend Marianne, because yeah, I woke up with that song in my head, which is weird because I don't know when I last heard it. All right, all right. So let's come down here. I'm going to do 3 cards for each sign. Oh, be sure to look up your sun sign, rising sign, and moon. And if you need to find out what that is, you can go to astro.com, plug in your birth data, your time, date, and place of birth, and you'll get your chart and you'll find out what your sun sign, rising sign, and moon sign are. All right. So Aries, you have sad embrace. Well, I'm going to turn them your way. Sad embrace, coming to life, and unexpected visitors. So what I'm getting from this Aries, um, you're not getting your way in some way, shape, or form. This also could be an ending that is coming your way, a final goodbye. However, it brings new life to you with less obligation. Unexpected visitors always talks to me about paying attention to the ghosts and spirits, the messages that are lurking around you at this time. And because you'll be getting a message, possibly, from a departed loved one. And but I want to focus on this. Interesting, it's card 29, the anaretic degree. Aries, that's what that moon will be in on January 20th. But this reading is for this new moon in Capricorn. And so this could be an opening of a doorway, you letting something go so that you can bring something new to life. The unexpected visitors could also be unexpected news that is coming your way. Okay. All right. Taurus. Metamorphosis, that's change and transformation. Well, definitely with Mars and Uranus and Black Lilith in your sign, there will be a lot of change, a lot of metamorphosis. We have Magic Map Shifter. So that's another type of shift. And you creating that magic in your life, creating how do you want to change? What do you want to get from this new moon? I think we can all take a cue from this and really think about, with this being the first new moon of 2021, what do you want your life to look like? Um, you know, so many choices to choose from, and it's all up to you, actually. And flying, I love this. Um, this talks to me immediately about lightening your thoughts, lightening your energy so that you can fly high. So I'm just feeling like there's a lot of magic around Taurus. Anything could happen at this point, but there will be some big changes, big transformations that will be launched by this new moon in Capricorn that will be trying squaring. So Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus, trining. So yeah, the new moon will be trining the sun in Taurus. So this would be good. Capricorn is your sister earth sign. So I feel that that's really good for the Tauruses. Tauruses will be lucky. All right, Gemini, suns, risings, moons. Let's see. Shuffle it up. All right, Gemini, the bone collector. Card number one, compass. Well, before I get into that, so the bone collector talks about, I always get a different message from the bone collector, but the bone collector is talking about tapping into ancestors, animals, um, journeying the other side, finding out your true purpose, your true path in life. The time on the clock here says 2 o'clock. So to me, that's a perfect time to take a break. That would be the signal to me. She's sitting inside of the medicine wheel, this bone collector, and she has skulls hanging around her, the rabbit of prosperity, and a peacock feather in her hand that are fanning the flames, but also it's like show the world who you are. Know that prosperity and abundance is coming your way. But Bone Collector also talks about not lingering too much in the past. I love this for the Gemini suns, risings, and moons. It is compass. I always talk about finding your true north, finding your true path, and that's what this new moon is going to bring to the gems. And we also have movement. So maybe I shouldn't be taking the nap. Well, I'm taking it for right now, just a little bit of a break. But then after the new moon, there will be some movement. This could be Gemini, suns, risings, and moons, moving to a new place, moving to a new job, just getting up and moving your body, and also moving in the direction of your compass, leaving the past behind, finding your true north, and moving forward. Love it. Can't shuffle that way. Better this way. Cancers, unexpected visitors. Now you saw me shuffle. Coming to life, interesting. And the talisman. All right, so we talked about unexpected visitors with Aries. Um, with cancers, this is messages coming your way. Pay attention to spirits from the other side that, are trying to send you a message. And this is also, I'm getting the message for cancers since you are ruled by the moon and it is all about your home, that just make sure, and I'm going to have to pay attention to this too. I'm a Cancer rising. Um, Make sure that you keep your doors on your home, your windows, and your car locked. And, because that's kind of what I'm picking up with this. Coming to life. Coming to life, it has pretty much that same meaning. There will be sparks of joy. I feel as though this moon isn't really going to affect you a whole lot because there really isn't anything major in Cancer at this time. But after a good rest and respite, you could find yourself with some renewed energy. What else am I seeing in this? This is talking about like really tapping into your creativity, your creative juices, bringing yourself to life, finding your spark. And then talisman. Talisman is interesting because this is a little bit similar to the compass. Um, you're finding a path, you're trying to find your way. I feel like Cancer was stuck in this energy, a certain type of energy for like 3 years, and now you're finally emerging from it, and you're kind of twisted and turned around, not sure really where to go. The talisman will show you the way, it will light the way. And so, similar to the goddess of Hecate that lights with the torch, this little, and I'm feeling like this is a sprite named Una from the movie Legend from, oh my gosh, from the 90s or maybe even the 80s, but it's like Una lights the way, a sprite lights the way. I know that sounded kind of weird and silly, huh? Guess I'll have to try and do a better job shuffling. All right, Leos, suns, risings, and moons. We have rock bottom. So this could be a difficult time for the Leos right before your full moon on January 28th. And sometimes you have to hit rock bottom. This could be really some major changes or realizations that come to light from this new moon and the things that are getting stirred up. Listening comes up. Um, and I've been talking a lot about listening, and so when you're trying to communicate, a lot of times we do a lot of talking. However, we don't stop and take the time to listen to the other person. This is also listening to music to soothe yourself, to help you out through difficult times. Also listening for messages that are coming your way. Um, and when I see the elephant, I think about the elephant's memory. So it's something from the past that you'll be getting a message about, and it will probably be soothing to your heart, that will help you on your way. And then your final card, it's Gentle Gardener. And the Gentle Gardener is asking you to be very, very gentle with yourself at the present time, at least for the next almost 3 weeks, until the moon turns full on the 28th in Leo, activating your sun. But for right now, you have to be really, really gentle with yourselves. Okay, put them back in there. Well, you know what? I should probably separate them. That's what I will do. Separate them so that you can see that I am shuffling. You're watching me. Okay, Virgo. Wide open. Wide open talks about opening your heart, being vulnerable, taking that leap of faith. Also, wide open says to me, I'm also hearing, so this new moon is in Capricorn sister earth sign for you. Wide open says, just make sure you check your boundaries and not leave yourself so wide open and vulnerable to the wrong people. The Wizard of Awareness. Okay, so this is pretty good for you. The Wizard of Awareness talks about sitting on your throne, taking back your power, also becoming aware of the magic and the messages that are coming through for you this next week. I think a lot of our perceptions are really off. And so we're not seeing through the cloudiness of Neptune in Pisces right now. There's a lot of uncertainty, but you will have an epiphany this coming week, Virgo suns, risings, and moons, and it will lead you to the Golden Palace. I love this. So the Golden Palace also is these cards are sort of like a respite for you. You're kind of waiting for that clue, for that perfect time. And these may not be traditional messages, but this is what I'm hearing. And it's like you have to be aware of what is going on, pay attention to the clues and the messages in order to get you to the Golden Palace. You also have to be open to new ideas and things showing up in a different way than you expected them. Libra. Libra. Coming apart. So for Libras, I did have the vision of you really shutting a few people out of your life, coming apart, breaking open so that you can heal the parts of you that need to be healed, finding your place in the world, and actually healing and opening up your heart. Solitude. So that is part of it. I feel that for the Libra suns, risings, and moons, um, a break away from people, a break away from all of the outer world chaos will do you good because I just feel like, especially with this 13, that there is chaos. It's part of that coming apart. And then education is coming up. What I'm getting from education is maybe some of you are going back to school, furthering your education, but I really feel as though it ties into these two cards saying, like if you're falling apart, if things aren't working out, things aren't happening fast enough, people crap on you, take some time out, but you have to learn. You have to learn something about yourself during this period of time, Libra, especially because Mercury will be going retrograde in air signs all this year. So there's going to be a lot of learning, but you'll be having a self-realized epiphany through this period of time for you. You'll be locking somebody out of your life for good, forever, like never allowed back in. Ah, all right, get myself together. Scorpio, and I know this is not one of my typical videos, but the moon is void, of course, all day until tomorrow morning in Sagittarius, getting ready to move into Capricorn, and I just don't have it in me. Seriously, let's cut these just to stir it up a little bit. Scorpio. Okay, making a choice. Making a choice is really good. Ascended Masters, putting up boundaries. So you will be guided in the right direction. I'm just trying bird messenger. Oh no, yeah, I'm seeing a lot of birds in this. Um, Making a choice. So pay attention to what people are saying, pay attention to what people are not saying. Listen to your guides and ascended masters. Boundaries are going to have to be thrown up, Scorpio. And you too could be shutting some people out of your life. It's time for you to follow your path. You're going to be making a choice after this new moon or during this new moon of where you really want to go. Like, what do you want this year to look like? Spirit of place. I love that. Spirit of place, really, it's kind of like the high priestess card in a sense, really tapping into your intuition, finding out where you truly belong. What timeline do you belong in? Because I feel like there's multiple timelines running. Um, Things are going to come around and together by your birthday time. That's what I'm feeling. So you have to kick off something really good on this new moon in order to manifest it, like towards the end of the summer. And sacred pool. So this is about really going in and doing a lot of inner reflection. Scorpio suns, risings, and moons. A lot of inner reflection during this time, and just stay in the stillness so that you can hear these messages and make that definitive choice that you are going to be making as to what is your next move. Sagittarius, suns, risings, and moons. Spark. I love that. So, spark of energy, spark of creativity, spark of art, and that's art, music, anything that is creative. What are these dogs doing over there? But yes, this is a great time um, that will spark some fire within you. I love that. You also got education. So this is about learning something, could be continuing education for the Sag, suns, risings, and moons. Let's see. Um, Intention. This spark, this could be an epiphany, learning something new about yourself, obviously, or continuing education, learning something new at this time. And I love it because there is a new moon in that photo. And I love intentions. The owl, the 22, the egg, all remind me that you have to make your new moon wishes, setting your intentions, being impeccable with what it is that you want this year to be. And the owl has a wish in his mouth, like the wishes that you blow. So it's saying make a wish during this new moon. I love that. Lucky duck, Sages. I think that was probably one of the better card pulls of all of the signs. Maybe you will go unscathed. I think we're all under the wrath of the planets this entire year. Oh my goodness. That's why it's just best to lay low. Capricorn, so this is your new moon, and you have follow the leader. So that's interesting because Capricorns, they want to take the lead. They want to be the leader. They want to be the ones in charge with their ruling planet of Saturn. But this is saying, no, it's time for you to follow someone else's example. So this would say talk about taking a really good look at what you're doing, and maybe you can improve something within yourself by doing something that somebody else is doing. Um, there is a time on the clock that is showing up in this photo. It is, oh, it looks as though it's 12:15. And we have in this a fairy, and there is a goose, there's a duck, there's a couple of different ducks and geese. Also sunflower, black-eyed Susan type of flowers that I'm seeing in here. Um, so following the leader could be really good for the Capricorns because then it takes that responsibility off of your shoulders, but it could lead you on a brand new path to new friendships, new people, new ideas, new things waiting for you. All right, goblins is coming up. We don't like that. Goblin speaks about the negativity, the negative thoughts. Goblins feed on negative words and negative thoughts and negative emotions. And the more that you're feeling it, the more that you're feeding the goblins. The card is number 5. This talks about changes that need to be made within your emotional realm or in your thought realm. And it's interesting because this new moon is at 23 degrees. So that is about our feelings and beliefs and thoughts and the words that come from it. And so, yeah, this is just caution. So if there are Capricorn suns, risings, and moons, really pay attention to your thoughts, feelings, words, the emotions you're emitting, and any kind of anger that's coming up. The goblins are feeding on it, and then they're just going to give you like more because they're always starving. Rock bottom comes up. And I know a couple of Capricorns that are going to be like, this is a bullshit reading. It's a new moon. But I feel as though because so much has happened in Capricorn and this new moon is in Capricorn, it is squaring Pluto. I told you this. There's going to be some sort of an ending and a major transformation coming. There's power struggles. So, January 13th is a really difficult day, especially for a Capricorn, sun, rising, or moon. There's just no way around making it nice for nice sake. So you have to make the best of it. And sometimes we have to hit rock bottom in order to make these changes. So kind of just go with the flow and follow the leader, stay absolutely neutral and just know that things are definitely changing for you, Cap, suns, risings, and moons. All right, Aquarius, coming down to the end. Aquarius, Aquarius. Oh, compass. I love this. So with Saturn and Jupiter recently moving into Aquarius, Mercury also moving into Aquarius, we are recalibrating our compasses. You too are also following in the Gemini's footsteps of finding your true north. And you're going to be doing this for quite a few years, Aquarius. Actually, um, you know, even after Jupiter and Saturn leave your sign, Pluto's coming in right behind and spending a very long time there. So, new horizons, new beginnings for Aquarians. Oh, come together. This is adorable. So this is about unity. This is definitely Aquarian energy. It's about togetherness, unity, bringing people together, coming together with love and compassion to help others. So I love that. And the more that you give, the more that you get, is what I'm hearing. And home. I love that. And there's a beautiful little owl and a fairy in here. The time on the clock, there's a lot of clocks in these cards. The time on the clock here is 10 of 8, or it could even be 20 of 10. I just want to put that up there. It is card number 27. So this talks about really tapping into your feelings and your senses and finding out, well, what is home to you? Where is home? This is part of what you're doing right now. You're recalibrating. Home is where the heart is, and home is where you make it. So, Aquarians could definitely be moving. A lot of changes coming for Aquarian suns, risings, and moons. There could be changes in the home. All right, finally, Pisces, suns, risings, and moons. I hope I didn't forget any signs. You know, I have done that before. Just completely skipped over a sign, not even realizing it. Okay, Pisces. Compass again. Now you saw me. I put the cards like in different places and really shuffled. So Pisces, you're also getting compass. And like I've said to the Gemini and the Aquarius, this is about finding your true north, recalibrating, finding out where it is that you truly want to go, making those changes. Okay, dry desert. So for a lot of the Pisces, I know that I just from what I had been hearing, kind of going through this time where nothing significant is happening, nothing is moving fast enough. And the dry desert says, don't worry, your time is coming. You just have to wait a little longer. You have to be a little patient. There is an oasis of relief in the very near future. You only have about a month to wait, and everything will be okay. So just sit tight, make your intentions on this new moon, and spark. You will be getting creative ideas. So if you take the time to silence yourself, try and find your way around, these dry places, and just maybe even take it as um, a time of rest, a time of respite for you guys also, Pisces, suns, risings, and moons. The creative ideas will come to you and spark. It's about music, it's about art, really tapping into those creative parts of you so that you can get yourselves through this dry desert time. All right, well, that's what I have for you. Be sure to check out the companion blog that I wrote a couple days ago about this new year, new you, new moon, and it gives you some more information about the new moon in Capricorn, January 12th, 13th, 23 degrees. It's about our feelings, it's about our beliefs, it's about our mind. And squaring Pluto, there's going to be a big change and transformation. Expect the unexpected. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, share it with your friends. Show me some love if you like. If you don't comment me. And be sure to subscribe where click. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, you can. You don't have to. But if you like this and you want to come back and see some more, then do that. Until next time, happy new moon. I will see you after I have a little bit of a respite break and luxuriate in my Four of Swords energy.